Welcome back to another episode of All Things Everything presented by Gulf Coast Smoke. My name is Alonzo.
And I'm Sabrina.
And this is episode 44. And what do you do when you're just tired? You don't want to do anything. I just feel like I'm glad to be doing this. We've talked about it plenty of times. It's a lot of fun to always do these. But, man, I've just been tired the past couple of days.
Yeah.
I just feel like waking up at 5:30 in the morning every day to go to work is getting a little old.
It doesn't help that we go to sleep so late.
I know, but I mean, it's one of those things. I also worked late both days, the past couple of days, and
right.
You get home later, and then you want to spend some time with the kids and do stuff, so you end up going to bed around 11, and then, that is technically enough time, but it kind of catches up over time, and man, I think also I'm still having trouble catching up from sleep from this past weekend because we were really, really busy starting on, basically Thursday after work. We got to work and we were prepping up for our grand opening on Saturday. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our grand opening, how we feel it went, how we feel like the people received it, and just what we kind of did leading up to it. So, yeah, basically, Thursday we prepped up some stuff that we knew we were going to need to get done for the grand opening. Our goal was to feed everybody some really good food and kind of show off our seasonings a little bit. That was the point, right? Season the briskets with Southern Belle, that base. Season the pork with that base, trifecta, and just show everybody that, our seasonings are good and they do go very well on protein. So, man, I feel like I'm still tired. Literally, I feel like I'm still tired from that because especially Thursday, Friday, and Saturday were rough, and then you never really feel like you catch back up because of course, we have to film other things, and then we filmed 2 shorts, and then we did a full-length video, and yeah, just now we're here. Now we're filming this. It feels like we're kind of just like go, but. Let's talk a little bit about the grand opening. So what was my role and what was your role for the grand opening? And then just kind of go in, I guess, to how you felt it went.
Right. So the reason why we even wanted to do this, as you mentioned, is because, and this is something that you've done quite often at a lot of the meat markets.
We've done this a lot.
Right. Who sell our seasonings is you'll go out there. Usually they will provide the meat and you'll season it with our products, give it as samples so people understand, what our seasonings taste like, right?
On the proteins.
Exactly. And so I know for a lot of people who maybe don't know much about us, they were confused as to, why are we cooking? Is this for a restaurant? Oh, you're doing samples, but you're not a restaurant? Well, no, we are not a restaurant, but what better way to show people what our seasonings taste like than to put it on food and serve it, right?
Sure.
So that was the whole reason behind what we were doing, and to also get to know our customers here in our own hometown, because there's still a lot of people who live in our town who don't know anything about our business, right, or who we are. So that's pretty much why we wanted to hold this event, also because this is, our brand new headquarters.
Yeah.
And so for our roles, I know we had mentioned wanting to film, and obviously I'm usually the one that films, right? But for this situation, with you outside cooking and handing out samples, I thought it was really important for myself to be inside. Anyone could catch on and learn how to, run the register, right? But I think it was really important to have both of us in a position where we can explain our business, who we are, and meet new customers.
Yeah.
So I did not want to film. I didn't want both of us to be outside. I wanted one of us to be inside and one of us to be outside, so that both of us who have the knowledge on, the startup of our business, who have the knowledge of what our seasonings are made out of, what our seasonings are good for, I thought that was really important to have us be able to share that information inside and outside.
Sure.
So yes, I was inside running the register with myself and Danielle, who was a huge help.
Yeah, shout out Danielle. Thank you for coming out and doing that, helping us out.
Yep. And then you were outside slicing up the samples, giving samples. And so I didn't go outside to try anything really because things were just pretty busy inside. But let's talk about how people received the samples, what they thought of the food that you made.
Yeah, so we could talk about that from my point of view and then your point of view, because I do think people came inside and talked to you a little bit about the food as well. So, I ended up making 4 briskets on the Outlaw the day before, 4 pork butts as well, and then some burnt ends. So our goal was to give everybody some really good food. Again, we wanted the opportunity to show that, hey, Southern Belle, that base, trifecta, these are really good rubs. You can do something special with them. Now, granted, we are the creators of the seasonings and we cook a lot, so I did feel pretty confident that the food was going to be good. What we ended up serving was the same exact tacos that we recently posted in short form, which was brisket, it was pico de gallo, it was avocado cream sauce, it was cheese, and then we actually didn't put any hot sauce on top because we just didn't want to go overboard for people. But I did feel really strongly that people were going to like this stuff. I just, it was delicious. So we ended up, and the cool thing about it was we were slicing to order per se. I mean, we didn't really take orders, but we were slicing when people were coming up. So we were giving people fresh slices of brisket and then fresh tacos, and we were pretty much had like a little assembly line. So I was slicing all the meat. Chance and Travis, shout out to them, were putting the tacos together, and then Nathan was handing out beans as well. So again, shout out to Travis, Chance, and Nathan for coming out and helping us with the event. It was extremely helpful. And it's one of those things where sometimes you will feel like, oh, I think we got this. No, there's no way we could have done it without them. Like, literally, there's no way we could have done it without them. So we are very, very appreciative of their help. But, it feels really good to say that I feel that people really enjoyed the food. We got a lot of really good compliments about the food, and man, I even had some people telling me that's the best brisket they've ever had, which is really, when you put your heart and soul into something like we do our whole business, and then of course you try and make sure that you baby these briskets for 12, 14 hours, and then people are tasting them and they're giving you compliments like that, it truly does feel good. I'm not one of those guys that lets that feed my ego, but it does feel good to know that I have passion for this and you can taste it come through the food. And I think that that's important, right? Like, I think I was talking to, some people yesterday and today about it, and they're like, man, like, you always seem like you're doing something. And we kind of talk about it all the time. We're always doing something. How do you do it? Well, man, I mean, we like this. We really do. I can't really explain it any other way. We just like to do this. So it's fun and it's amazing, and it feels really humbling to have people come out, try the food, and really enjoy it like that. So we are very, very grateful that, I thought the brisket, so when I was slicing the brisket, I knew that it was going to be banging. I just knew it. But man, we were getting a lot of really great compliments on the pork as well. People were like, hey, if there's any extra pork, like, I will buy it.
Yeah, and so I don't know if you mentioned this, but you also, I know you mentioned smoking the pork butts, but so we did pulled pork tacos as well. Yeah,
pulled pork tacos with a homemade coleslaw, and then we just put a little bit of Killer Hogs vinegar sauce on top, which I personally think goes so well on pork. Mm-hmm. That vinegar sauce is really on another level. Speaking of which, I need to reach out to their wholesale team and order some of that for the shop so we can have it on deck. But man, it was just It was a really, really awesome experience, and I think people really enjoyed the food. I'm grateful that we served like over 200 tacos. We were trying to do the math, and it was just, I couldn't believe that many people came out. We talked about it personally, you and I, that I was really nervous that like essentially nobody was going to come out because, you feel like you've maybe grown a little bit of a following, and you maybe have people that support you, and well, we know we have people that support us, but you just don't know if they're busy that day. You don't know if they're interested in coming out. Man, we had people from other towns coming in and trying the food and coming and purchasing stuff. And man, I couldn't tell you how much it meant to me to see people show up and actually be here. At one point, I was even telling Chance this. I actually haven't even told you this. At one point, like, it felt surreal. It felt like there's no way Sabrina and I have built this to what it is. And it's like I said, humbling for sure. I mean, it's like the experience, the camaraderie that we've built within our company having people around us that truly love GCS just as much as we do. Like, I can honestly tell you, like, Chance and Danielle, and not to say that other people don't, but Chance and Danielle specifically, like, they would do anything for us. And it's like, having friends like that is huge. Having people like that is huge. Dad is the same exact way, would do anything for us. I mean, it's having people like that on your team is incredible. And one of these days, as long as we make it, we're going to give back to those people and everybody else that has helped us out. I can promise you that. I promise you. Like, I have a list, right, of people that I want to give back to in some way, that they've given so much to us. You know, our company's getting bigger and doing better every single day, but we're not really to the point where we can put somebody on salary, you know, and pay them hundreds of thousands of dollars or anything. But man, if we ever get to that point, I know the people I want on my team. Then they're already there. They're already on our team. They don't ask us for anything. Even when we try to pay them, like, they argue with us. No, we're here because we love you guys and we want y'all to succeed. Like, I'm not saying that to take advantage of your friends, because we really don't let them do that. We still pay them. But, like, those are the type of people you want in your corner. So, man, it was just a great experience. And I saw a lot of people coming into the shop purchasing stuff, and they came outside and they're like, hey, man, I got it. Like, I love that trifecta. Or, man, people really enjoyed the beans as well. So we made our competition beans, and people were like, I mean, seriously, you can probably attest to it as well. They were like freaking out. They were like, dude, those beans are fire. Like, what did you do to those beans? And so, I mean, I kind of shared some secrets with them and told them what I do, but man, they were freaking out over the beans too. So anyway, I know I kind of went off on a little rant there, but overall, yes, I was serving all the food outside with Chance, Travis, Nate, and then Deborah was there. She was helping us out a lot. So my sister helped us out a lot. Thank you to her as well. And man, again, just it does take a village, and I think we're starting to realize that. Well,
yeah. Even my sister in here, like, entertaining the kids, is huge.
And then, like, Tara and Caleb came over, and they were hanging out, and, like, even them just being in here hanging out with the kids, and not even that they were making sure, but the kids were occupied in here, so they weren't going into the shop side, and people were able to be over there, and just everything. Like, we have so many people that they care for us, and they see what we're trying to do, and they see that we work hard. And it's really, 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 man, it's really awesome. It really is. Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's weird, right? Because, like, I know this is kind of completely off topic. We're going to get back to the grand opening. But do you know who James Charles is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I don't follow him on any social media, but I was scrolling through TikTok maybe like 2 days ago. And he actually went on there and he was just like, I don't know who needs to hear this, but, like, you don't need a podcast. You don't need to make videos. You don't need to do, basically telling people, like, not everybody wants to hear you. Not everybody wants to watch you. Not, like, destroying some people, right? And I don't have any problem with James Charles, like, zero. But I will say that I completely disagree with that, man. Like, and I think that this is why. This is why. You and I also thought nobody would watch us. You and I also thought nobody would listen to us. And, I mean, look at us now. I'm not saying we've taken over or we've done anything so incredible that, like, nobody will ever beat it. But, man, we've legitimately, I was going to say literally, we've literally, legitimately, whatever, built a business. Mm-hmm. And, like, we, you know, this business, like, you can even, you know, I've told you guys a little bit about it, but, man, there was times when we had no idea how we were going to pay for our business stuff. Now our business helps us have fun every once in a while. Our business helps us, you know, like, do things for our children and stuff. It's you don't necessarily have to be a multi-billion-dollar business, but I mean, if you have passion for something, I don't see anything wrong with that. So I just wanted to quickly say that if you guys want a podcast or you want to make videos, man, you never know who eventually is going to want to watch you. Right. Just do it. But yeah, so anyway, back to the grand opening. I was very happy with everything that happened. I thought all four briskets were gone. All the pork was gone. All the beans were gone. The beans were gone quick. We need to probably double what we made next time, which is crazy because, like, we used 2 large pots. I don't know how we're going to double it, but we'll have to figure it out somehow. But Yeah, I mean, how did it?
And you also made burnt ends.
Oh yeah, I did make burnt ends as well, and people were freaking out over the burnt ends. They're like, dude, like that is literally like it just melts. It melts. It's not stringy, but it just melts perfectly. Shout out to Zach. So Zach Smith, Meat Locker Misfits, actually donated 5 burnt ends, 5 points to us. So I was able to make those burnt ends for people. So shout out to Zach. I really appreciate that. He did not have to do that. He did not charge us. He gave us some really beautiful cuts of meat that we were able to turn into some delicious burnt ends. So, yeah. But enough of me just ranting, because I'm kind of ranting. How did you feel the people took the food, and how did you think they enjoyed it or didn't enjoy it?
Yeah, so the only thing that I had tried throughout the day, because I just, I was in here busy, so I didn't get any samples, but I did get a burn end sample, which was very good, as per usual, right?
Who brought you that? Because I don't think
Danielle.
I get it. I was gonna say I hate to say it. I don't think I.
Yeah,
so I didn't try.
Danielle went and snuck me some.
I didn't try anything either.
Right.
I did not try one thing. So I was cutting the brisket, and I knew the brisket was good just by the way that it felt. By the way that it felt, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't get to taste anything. So, yeah. But anyway, sorry to keep going.
No, you're good. Yeah, likewise. I didn't, you're just, when you're busy, you're not thinking about, let me go try that. Which we did want to try things just to know how they actually turned out, right? Whether it was good or not.
Yeah.
But, yeah, when you just get busy, there's not really time to do it. But, yeah, Danielle she went to go get some samples when it kind of slowed down, and she brought me one, and it was really good. I did see what the things looked like because some people were bringing their food inside. But one of the biggest things people were coming in and talking about were the beans.
Yeah.
So I had people tell me that, I've had a lot of beans in my life, and these were the best beans.
Yeah, that's a great feeling.
Oh, for sure. So a lot of compliments on the beans, and so people were coming in looking for, where's the seasoning he put in the beans?
Yeah.
So that, which we did add trifecta to it, right?
Yeah. So we do now add trifecta to our beans, and I think it's it's one of those things where we're trying to implement our seasoning into
everything.
If we can, everything, absolutely everything. So now we're seasoning our beans with the trifecta, and I mean, they're good. They're good. That trifecta has such a unique flavor where it's like, I don't even know how to explain it. You just have to try it. I mean, it's like, it tastes savory, and then you get like a hint of smokiness, and then you get a hint of sweet, and you're like, wait, what? Right. So anyway.
Yeah, so everybody was coming and talking about the beans. They wanted to buy whatever was put in the beans. They didn't even ask questions. They just saw, I told them which bottle, and they grabbed it and checked out, right?
Yeah, because I was telling them, I was like, look, I add this much trifecta, and then, of course, you can add salt to taste. If you need to, you can add salt to taste, and that's it. I mean, because there's so many things in our beans that will bring salts to the table. So we've got bacon, we've got sausage, and then we'll add more bacon, and then we'll add more sausage. Well, that brings so much flavor already. And instead of water, we're using chicken broth.
Yeah.
Which that was one of the ladies was like, wait, you're using chicken broth? I was like, yes, ma'am. And she was like, I've never heard of that. And that's actually something that I got from. So our beans are actually like a hybrid of Mario from Oh My Barbecues and Carl from
Cast Iron Cookers.
God, how did I almost forget Carl's team name? Crazy. So anyway, what we've done is we've tasted theirs and a little bit of Caesar's. So like we tasted all of these delicious beans, right? And Carl basically helped me out with beans. Mario helped me out with beans, and Caesar, I don't necessarily know if he like has helped me out with the recipe or anything, but I've tasted his enough, and then you can, if you have a pretty good palate, you can kind of taste what's in there. So I know.
Well, his beans were the first one to really inspire us to start cooking beans.
Yeah. Yeah. So like now our recipe is literally like a mixture of a couple of different ones, which, you know, it is technically, I guess, our recipe, but we got a lot of inspiration from those guys, Caesar, Mario, and Carl. Like, I give them a lot of credit for that. So I'm not just going to sit here and say, I started on a pen and paper and, you know, went from there. Like, no, that's not at all how it happened. Carl Davis still has the best beans in the world probably. So he's got like 6 first place beans in a row.
Yeah.
And his are insane. So either way. But yeah, no, I'm very happy people like the beans, and I'm glad that they seem to come in here and talk to you about it and have compliments.
Yep. And so the next thing was a lot of people were coming in wondering about the pork. They wanted to know what was put on the pulled pork. So a lot of people asking, because they got some insight from you talking to you. So then they would come in and ask me, oh, well, he was telling me this and that. And I said, yes, so you want to use that base. You want to use a layer of that, and then you want to go over with trifecta.
Yep.
And so people were buying that combination because they wanted to make it exactly the way you were making it outside.
Yeah.
Same thing with the brisket. I had people, a lot of people who, from what it seemed from the things that they were telling me, they're like, oh, I make good pork, I make good this, but brisket's my weak spot, and that brisket was really good. I want to know which products he was putting on there so I can go try it at home, right?
Sure.
So Southern Belle was flying off the shelf, Trifecta was flying off the shelf, that base, all the things that we were using, that's what people wanted to come in and buy. So, I mean, hospitality and hot, we're still getting, some
Purchased,
love from the
not as much because we didn't use those on the products.
Right. So
or on the proteins, I'm sorry, not products.
Right. So a lot of people that was the really cool part about what we did wasn't that, oh, we're making sales, we're making money, right? The cool part was seeing the influx of new customers and the people who already know us that would just come out to support. So just people that we've known, people that we've met through competition, coming in. And
so even Irene came. So she's actually the promoter that put on the barbecue competition that we went to in Refugio this year that we won. And she straight up came up to me and she's like, you better come back next year. You're the grand champion. You have to defend that title. And I 100% agree. But, I mean, man, there was so many people that came out and supported that it just means so much. Like, the new customers was amazing. We met some people that say they've been following us on Facebook or YouTube, and they watch our videos, and they love the competition videos. They love the cooking videos. But, man, like, to have your friends show up, dude, that means so much. Like, and I promise you, it all means so much. But, like, Sid showed up. Luke showed up. Of course, Travis and Chance were there the whole time, literally the whole time. Parker showed up. We had just so many people come. Armando from work showed up. Timmy, my coworker, showed up. My other coworker, my ex-coworker, Doug, showed up. And, dude, it's just like, you got people that see you love this, and they want to come out and support you, and it just means a lot. So, yeah, man, I mean, I don't even know how to explain the feeling other than excitement, other than you can see the growth, and it's so incredible. It's so amazing. And from that, we're now going to try and do, like, demo days every other month. Just because, and like Sabrina said, this is not about us making sales. Yes, we are a business, okay? Yeah, we are a business. We do need to make money to keep the doors open, to pay for the room that we're sitting in right now. Yes, guys, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you about it. But I can promise you one thing. Being able to discuss with people our products, how to cook that brisket, how to get good results, how to hopefully do better in barbecue competitions, that is what I love. That is what I like to do. And like I've said before, I always dreamt of being a golf coach, right? Like a coach of some sort. I am not saying I'm a barbecue coach, but this gives me a little bit of that satisfaction of helping people learn how to cook good food. There is nothing like seeing people eat the food that you made and you put everything you had into, and then them tell you, that's the best brisket I've ever had in my life. Like, I literally had somebody tell me, I'm not kidding, I could even show you the message, I don't even need to eat Franklin's anymore. There's no way it's a better brisket than what you gave me today. Like, and guys, I'm not going to sit here and front. I know that that's not necessarily true, but that person really felt that brisket was amazing, right? And so that's a good feeling because, again, we put everything we had into it. I want people to tell you guys the same exact thing because it's number one, it's a fulfilling feeling whenever you can do that. And barbecue is not easy. I'm not going to tell you that smoking a brisket is easy. I'm not going to do that. But I do think that you can do it, and we're here to hopefully help you. Like, there were some things that I even adopted in that cook that I've never done before. Didn't even tell you about it, right? So I'm cooking on my Outlaw, and I'm noticing that some of the areas are getting a little crispier than others. So did you see me ripping foil in the house at one point?
No, but I saw what you did with it.
Yeah, so I mean, I ended up like cupping foil around the crispier parts so it could not get any harder than it already was, and it can almost soften up a little bit.
Kind of like when you're baking a pie and people wrap the crust in foil so it doesn't get too crispy.
Yeah, right? And so I was doing that. I mean, that's a common thing to do, right? But what I'm saying is, once you have confidence and you kind of know the anatomy of a brisket and how it's going to cook and where you're trying to go, you can make those adjustments. Mm-hmm. Our first place brisket in Aransas Pass, I literally burnt the edges on it. I literally burnt them. But I told Sabrina, hey, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut it off. Cool. And you fully trusted me because I do feel like I have pretty decent knife work. So it's like, okay, just cut it off and we're good to go. Right. So having the confidence, knowing you can fix these things, you know the anatomy of a brisket, you know how it's gonna cook. Those are all acquired skills. And I would love to do demo days where hopefully I can help you guys reach that a little bit easier, right? So, I mean, like coming up, hopefully the weekend before Thanksgiving, we're going to be doing a little demo day where we're going to show you guys how we make smoked turkey breasts. And, of course, we are going to serve you some smoked turkey breasts, and hopefully you enjoy it, and then you can adopt that and you can try it the next week at your Thanksgiving dinner. You know, you can do it on a whole turkey. You can do it on a turkey breast. You can do it really however. So we plan on doing this a lot more and hopefully giving you guys some real good insight on barbecue. And again, you guys need to remember, please, we're not claiming to be professionals, but we've done a lot of this, and we do feel like we make pretty decent food. So yeah, I mean, it's just something that we noticed was really good for our company as a whole, and yeah, we want to keep doing it.
Well, and another thing is, for a lot of people who watch our YouTube channel, it's easy for them to say, oh, well, yeah, it looks good, but who knows if it actually tastes good, right?
Sure.
So one of the really positive things from, giving out those samples is our viewers get to see that not only does the food look good, it does actually taste good.
Oh, yeah.
And so even when we did like our competition brisket versus backyard brisket, and we invited people to come and be on the video and try it, right? And I think that's the best way for people to not use the excuse of, oh, it's YouTube, it probably just looks good, but you probably can't actually cook or it doesn't actually taste good. So I think doing things like this are really helpful so that people actually understand that the food does taste good. The seasonings do work and the seasonings do taste good. Now, what did you think about the location itself, about the location of our headquarters, about how the rooms, which I'll give my opinion on it as well, but the rooms, doing the samples in the parking lot, just the location itself of our headquarters, of our office, how do you think it performed for what we needed?
Okay, first I'll say this. I obviously was not in here, like, at all. So I'll probably need your opinion on that. But I will say that from the outside looking in, it looked completely fine. It did not look like at any point we had zero room or it was, like, overly packed or anything like that. Now, again, I can't 100% say yes or no on that, but doing the samples out in the parking lot was fine. It was absolutely fine for us. I mean, we had our canopy out there. We had the Outlaw out there. We had a couple of tables, the Cambro and everything, and I never felt crowded. I never felt like I didn't have room. And overall, to be 100% honest, I thought it was perfect. I mean, I thought it was really nice that the parking lot is maybe 35 feet away from the front doors right here? Or not the parking lot, but where we were set up was about 35, 40 feet. And man, I just thought it went really well. I didn't have any complaints with anything. Now, my concern, one of my major concerns was going to be parking, right? We don't have very many parking spots in here, but we have two very large streets that literally pretty much surround us, and people were just parking on the street. It was perfect.
Yeah.
I have no complaints with the way anything went at all. Personally, I think the space did what we needed it to do. It's going to do and continue to do what we need it to do. And yeah, I don't have any complaints with it. What about you? I mean, so again, I wasn't in the store. I think I came in it, maybe once or twice to walk through to go to the restroom, and it was fine. There was people in here, but I mean, what did you feel?
Yeah, so one of my concerns before the day even started was how are people going to fit in this space? I didn't know how many people were going to come to the event in general.
Mm-hmm.
So it was hard to imagine, obviously it's like sky's the limit in your head, right? You want so many people to come out, but as you were saying, you just don't know. You can't really predict it, right? But I was hopeful that we were going to have a good turnout. So one thing I was worried about was people coming in and out, if the door was going to be blocked, if it was going to feel crowded. But honestly, I thought the space worked perfectly. There was, at some point, I think there was maybe like 10 people.
Wow, really?
All at once.
And it didn't feel crowded?
Here. No, it was fine. I mean, there was even people coming into this side, which we told them like, hey, that's cool. Go check it out. Even though the kids were playing, we wanted people to be able to see
where we're doing our stuff.
For the people who are curious, who do watch. So there were people who were able to come in here, look around. People were able to shop and, check out it with plenty of room.
That's
I think
great.
One thing that was really helpful was that it was a really hot, sunny day, like no clouds in sight. So the front of the building offered some shade to most people. So people were coming up to the front by the front door and just enjoying the shade and eating their food while other people shopped. And then they would come in, or people were hanging out over there by you. So at no point was it like, oh, I got to get in there, buy stuff real quick and try and get out. Right. There was like there. And then with the other businesses doing stuff as well, there was plenty of room and opportunity for people to walk around, to take their time. So at no point did it feel crowded.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one thing when we were looking into renting this space, it was like, okay, is this going to be big enough for what we need?
Yeah.
And honestly, I thought it was perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, that's great to hear from you. And it's weird because I don't even think we've really sat down and talked about that together until right now. But I mean, it's great. So from what I saw, everything worked out really, really well. And I think that we had a pretty large successful event. Yeah. I mean, I really, so like I said earlier, I was afraid that people weren't going to come. They ended up coming, and plenty of them did. And man, it was enough space, which is a great feeling. Now, obviously the goal is to eventually upgrade and get something even bigger. And, I don't even want to say even better because this place is great, but that's obviously the goal. Maybe a year we can get into something bigger, maybe 2 years. I don't know. But for now, we are extremely happy with our space, and it really did work out for us. So I don't think we need to change anything the way we're doing stuff. I mean, as long as we just talk to management, let them know, hey, we're going to do some demo days out front, we should be all good to go. If you guys want to see any specific demo days, seriously, please reach out. Send us a message. Leave a comment on this video. Call me if you know me personally and let me know, hey, man, I think this is a really good idea. So we do have 2 ideas already. One is going to be the turkey breast demo, and the other one, we're trying to figure out a way that we can get some toys for some kids in the area. So we're going to try and do something early December to where we can maybe get people over here and bring toys as a way to get a brisket taco. Just an example, right? But we're trying to figure something out. We do want to figure out a way that we can stay involved in our community. And yeah, I think the sky's the limit here. I think we can definitely do a lot of cool stuff. We just gotta plan it out, market it as best we can, and hopefully people show up. And if we keep giving them good food, I think they will. Especially if we're not charging them.
Yeah, right.
We did, because everything was free. I mean, we gave everything away for free.
Yeah.
We purchased everything and we got out here, and yeah, man, it was just great.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it was, the kids really loved it. They, of course, were worried about, we're gonna be bored, like sitting over here or not, you know. But I think it was really cool for them to see, because it made it really, which I've said this before, you kind of want to operate as if this is, because it is a legitimate business, right?
For
but
sure.
You want to operate as if you are just like as big of a business out there, right?
Yeah.
As if things always run smoothly, as if your clientele is a large group of people. Like that's how you want to try and operate, right?
Mm-hmm.
But actually being in it and being at the register and making the sales, talking about your products, it kind of hit me like, oh my gosh, like this is actually like a little store right now.
Yeah.
This is a legitimate business. We're selling stuff. We've got samples. We have customers. Like this isn't just like people ordering online and, mailing it to them, right?
Yep.
So I think that was really, really cool for the kids to see, our business in action, because they don't really see it like that. They see the packaging of the orders. They see the YouTube, or the making of the YouTube videos, right? But for them to actually see, people are paying for our stuff, right? I think that was really, really a highlight for me.
Yeah, for sure. And it's one of those things that I've talked about it before. I want the kids to have the imagination, and I want them to have the creativity to go out and do something for themselves and work for themselves. And
right.
I don't think there's anything wrong with having a corporate job. I have one myself, but I definitely would love for the kids to want to do something and then be able to tell people like, yeah, I mean, my mom and dad started this online e-commerce store a long time ago. And, we were talking about this, and we'll kind of get into this a little bit, because I do want to talk a little bit about people were asking us, is this a barbecue supply store? And then also people were asking us if we're going to be a restaurant or what. So I do want to get into a few of those things. But, one of the things Sabrina and I were talking about just last week is even some of you guys listening today, you might not realize there was a time when Sabrina and I carried Meat Church products, Chupacabra products, How to Barbecue Right products. What else? Swine Life products.
Mojo.
Yeah, Tennessee Mojo products. All because these guys were miles bigger than us. Miles. And our goal was to try and use SEO and get people to search for those items and hopefully come to our website so we could give them a free sample of Southern hospitality. That was literally our goal, which was actually, I look back on it, that was a smart idea by us. It really was. And then we would send people a free sample of Southern hospitality in a tiny little bag that you could probably season 2 chicken breasts with. And they would email us and say, hey, what was that you gave us? It was good. Well, that's our seasoning. Oh, well, where do you sell it? Well, on the same website you bought the other stuff on. And, it really is crazy to see where it's come now. We don't carry any other products besides ours online. Here at the store, we do. The shop, we do. Whatever you want to call it. But, I've kind of said this, and we are not a barbecue supply store because we don't have set hours here. So, like, I even had people at work this week say, hey, when's your store open? I'm like, your guess is as good as mine, brother. But it's not. I mean, I want to be open Monday through Friday,
right.
8 to 5. I do. I just have a day job, and it's not, you can't do it. So, like, you literally edit 2 to 3 days a week. You have the kids that you homeschool. Like, I texted you today, hey, how are you doing today? Oh, just working with the kids. They're working on some school stuff, and I'm helping them here. So it's like, we cannot be open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. We are not in a position where we are going to have somebody here at the shop Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 yet. It's just, we're not there. And that's why we're not calling ourselves a barbecue supply store. Also, we're not going to ship any of those items. We're only shipping Gulf Coast Smoke items. And if you want to purchase some of these items that we have here at the shop, you'll have to come in. So we're not a barbecue supply store. The goal is, yes, one day to have a barbecue supply store. But I've told you this, I don't know how long ago I told you that I would love to carry like local honey,
right?
Local salsas. If there's some ladies out there that are making local earrings and necklaces or whatever, like, we want to be a shop that carries all of these local items as well and supports our community. So I don't even know if I would want to call it a barbecue supply store. I mean, it might just be like the Gulf Coast Smoke store. I don't know, right? Mm-hmm. But we do want to sell our barbecue products. I do want to sell charcoal. I do want to sell grills and stuff like that, but we're not that yet. And I don't know when we will be, but that is the goal one day. So we don't want to disappoint anybody, but yeah, we don't have set hours. Like, for example, you couldn't come in on Friday between 8 and 5 and pick up rubs from us. I'm sorry. We're not there yet, but we're trying. I promise you, every single day we are working towards being an open store for you guys. We're just not there yet. And the other thing that a lot of people ask, what do so many people ask?
Yeah, so everybody was also asking, are you a restaurant? When are you going to open a restaurant? Do you plan on opening a restaurant? What about a food truck?
Yeah, and I mean, what's our answer to that? I mean, you know the answer, but what's the answer to that?
Well, I mean, I guess I don't really know exactly how you feel about it, but that's not something we can do right now. It's not, it's funny because I always wanted to do something with food as a career, right? So I thought about like having my own bakery. And as I've, grown, that's not something that seems fun to me anymore, because it's like you got to find the right people to trust who have the same passion as you, who are going to put in the same effort as you making things. So it's not as easy as just like, hey, let's go open a restaurant. No, we need staff. We need to train people. We need to there's all of these things that you have to figure out before you just go and open a restaurant, right? And we don't have the means to hire people right now to even help us in the shop or office, headquarters, whatever. So it's like we don't have people right now to just go open a restaurant with us, right? So that's not, I mean, I don't know about the future, if that would be something we do or not, but that would have to be way down the line when our business is, established well, where we have people fulfilling online orders who are able to, if we have a barbecue supply store, Gulf Coast Smoke supply store, somebody who can, manage that. Mm-hmm. Because a restaurant is a full-time thing. Yeah. Even a food truck, I know Sebastian has talked to us about this, where you're prepping throughout the week. I mean, you're staying up late, waking up early to finish these cooks, because it's not just making a steak on the stove top. It's smoking briskets. It's smoking pork butts. It's smoking ribs. So there's a lot of work that goes into a restaurant and a food truck. Now, as we kind of mentioned earlier, a lot of people, that's confusing to them. It's like, oh, well, why would you sell or why would you give out samples if you don't plan on being a restaurant? But I mean, the reality is we cook. We cook for YouTube. Why would we not cook to sample and market our product? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what your take is on that, if that's an option in the future. I'm not opposed to it, but like I said, it is a lot of work, and right now all of our time and energy goes into this right now. Mm-hmm. So we would really have to open up some free time in order to tackle something like that. Yeah, I mean, I hate to be so blunt, but that's not an option. Right. It's just not an option. It's not what I want to do. Which sounds crazy because I do enjoy giving good food to people, but I also, more than anything, I really do enjoy making YouTube videos. I mean, I do. I really do. Yeah. And coming up with new products and competing. I don't think I'm willing to give those things up in order to have a restaurant. That's just not what I want to do. So, but again, as crazy as it sounds, like my goal, no lie, my goal is to eventually, hopefully we make it, guys. I mean, I couldn't tell you how badly I want to make it in this space. Hopefully you guys can see how badly I want it based off of how much we try to do for our company. Man, I would love to, I'm not even exaggerating, one of these days have a nice, beautiful shop. Man, Saturday mornings, come on up to the shop, get a breakfast taco on me, do brisket potato spuds on us and samples and stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, I know that sounds crazy. I want to give away free food and have people come out and eat it and then go buy our seasonings and then fall in love with our videos and fall in love with our brand and fall in love with what we stand for. Because, you were talking about it earlier, like our kids are in here on our grand opening day.
and they're running around and they're having fun. And you know what? I agree with you. We are a business. We are legitimate, but we have every right to run our business exactly the way we want. As long as our kids are not causing issues, they're going to be here. They're literally in the next room right here. I mean, they are our everything. They are why we are doing this, right? It's like, it's not rocket science. We love our kids. We love each other. We love our family. Like, we want to spend more time together. This is why we are so passionate about this and why we want to make it. I can't explain to you why. I would love to have a sample day every single Saturday and say, hey, guys, come on out, eat free food, shop at the shop, pick up some local honey from Sabrina's mom, I don't know, whoever, like whoever. And let's have a good day. Let's have a blessed day. Let's have a blessed weekend and just get out there and do some stuff together. I know, that's maybe not the best business model, but, I've told Sabrina before, and my goal and my plan is if we do ever make it in life, to give back as much as we can. And I mean, that's not just for this podcast. I'm not just trying to say the right thing. Like, you can ask Sabrina. I've said that recently, even, like, if we make it, I want to be able to do fun stuff with people and help and give people free good food. Like, I don't want to have a restaurant. I want to give free samples every weekend, though. Like, and I'm not even saying we're gonna be able to swing it or anything, but a restaurant's not in the cards. It's not something that I want to do. So I don't know. It's just there's good food around here that you guys can go eat. Go eat Full Send Barbecue. Go eat Greenhouse Grill. Drive up the road to Seguin and eat Burnt Bean. Go to Austin, eat some of the greats. Go to Dallas and eat Goldie's. Have a good trip with family and friends, and go eat some good food. You're unfortunately not going to get a full menu from us ever.
Yeah, but
I will say this, and this is what I will say. You know how I am. I'm like the most random, spontaneous person ever. Seriously, you can ask Sabrina. So some days I'll wake up and be like, man, I don't like where our TV is. Like, let's move it. So you never know. Tomorrow I might wake up and be like, I want a restaurant.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but as of right now, there's no plans in the future, and I do not want to do it.
But I think that's the cool thing about what we do is with YouTube, we're showing you how to make these things, and so you can come shop, get the seasonings, watch the video, and pretty much do what we did. Try your best to follow along with the video and make it your own. And that's part of what we do, is trying to show people that you can make good barbecue at home. You can make good food at home. So that, which, yes, we still love going out and supporting other barbecue places and eating there.
Yeah, we do.
So I'm not saying don't go to a barbecue restaurant ever, right? But the thing is if you liked our food this past weekend, what we're trying to do is with our YouTube videos as well, is show you how you can make that at home as well. So like I know you were telling me a lot of people responded really well to the avocado cream sauce.
Yeah.
Right? And so we just released a video on Tuesday of some carne asada tacos, and we made that sauce again. So the video shows you
the recipe.
The recipe. We want you guys. We want to hear what you guys like. We want to give you samples so you can try it yourself, and then for you to be able to go home and make it.
Go, and that's why so many people, like, they're like, man, why do you give away so much information? Like, you got to hold some of that. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why? I don't need to hold that information. If people want to know, my dad's always told me, if somebody's willing to ask you for help, you need to be a good person and help them.
Well, no, kind of like you mentioned with the beans. I mean, these things, you make them into your own recipes, right? But a lot of the foundation of these things that we make, it's from this years ago, or from this
Caesar,
year,
Mario,
or this
Carl,
and that. Right? Or I found this online, but I tweaked it this way.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like nothing is necessarily
every recipe stems from
original.
something.
Exactly.
Every
right.
one of them. I mean, yeah, the original recipe probably came up, somebody came up with it, but, a lot of people's recipes stem from somebody else, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. So, yeah, I mean, I think we discussed the grand opening in detail, and I don't think we necessarily have anything else to talk about there. If you guys did come out, again, thank you so much for being here. We hope you enjoyed yourself. We have a few questions that we had asked, not very many, but I did want to bring them up real quick before we close out the episode today. And the first one was Daryl Delancey. He asked, do you prefer the foil boat method over paper wrap? And the answer is yes, I do. So the reason I like the foil boat method is because I feel like adding that little bit of protection to the bottom of the brisket will allow it to stay a little bit softer, which ensures for a really, really good slice. I mean, yeah, it's pretty simple for me.
I can't even think of the last time we even used butcher paper.
Been
because
years?
Yeah, because honestly, just from even competing and in backyard, I mean, foil is it's versatile. You wrap it and that bark is still soft. You do the foil boat, you still get the texture, right? So I mean, yeah, I don't know when we'll ever use butcher paper again, but
probably never unless it's for a video.
Right, exactly.
But yeah,
the foil works well.
Yeah. Corey Bussart says, what was your aha moment when you realized barbecue was your passion? Man, I think that happened a long time ago. When you and I just were cooking in your backyard having a blast. It just, yeah. I don't know if there was necessarily an aha moment where I felt like, oh my gosh, I want to turn this into a business, but it really did stem from being with Sam, Nathan, and Sabrina at your house in Ingleside and just like trying to make delicious food. And that was our goal every time. Like, oh, we got to make this. We got to do that. We got to do this. And it was just fun. And ever since then, we've just continued to do it.
Yeah, I think that's just the power of food in general.
For sure. I mean, food brings people together. So I think it's just, for about the 15 years that I've known Sabrina, that's been like the center of our lives. Yeah. Not necessarily the center of our lives, but like, we had fun doing it, and we still have fun doing it, so why not? And
barbecue is one of those things that's a challenge, right?
For sure.
To make good barbecue is a challenge, and I think we're both competitive people. And for you, it was like, okay, I want to master this. I'm not going to give up until I get it right.
For sure.
Right, and that's I think anyone who barbecues, even if you're not doing it competitively, you want to master that brisket. No matter what age you get to, you still want your barbecue to be the best barbecue out there, even if it's at home. So I think barbecue just brings out that passion in everybody.
For sure. No, I agree with you on that 100%. So yeah, Corey, that would be my answer, or our answer to that. And next up, Kimberly Lada says, so many people want to know if you're ever going to open a restaurant. And we did just go into that in detail. Kimberly's actually my sister. As of right now, no, and it will not happen. And I'm not, I don't really think like that many people will be disappointed, if I'm being honest, but like, no, we're not interested in that.
Yeah.
Lauren Cavasso says, still thinking about the brisket taco y'all served. So thank you for coming out on Saturday, Lauren. It means a lot. I'm really glad that you enjoyed the taco, and hopefully we can make some more soon and you can come back out.
Yeah. So, and it's funny too, because I didn't really know how you were going to prepare the tacos, if you were just going to like chop up a bunch of brisket together. Slices. Oh, those were some thick slices.
No,
they were like, half slices, but they were some thick slices. Just from the footage I saw of Sam, by the way, who filmed for us. Yeah. It looked really good.
Yeah. So shout out to Sam for coming out on Saturday and filming us and cutting together a little quick video of what we did here at the grand opening. I'm probably going to drop that tomorrow. He did a great job, a great filmmaker and editor, and we were really, really happy to have him out here. So shout out to Sam. He does work in the Corpus Christi area, so if you guys are ever interested, I'll link his Instagram in the comments. I'm sorry, not in the comments, in the description down below. But probably one of my favorite comments that we got about this whole thing, Keller's Creek Cookers says, everything was delicious. Also, a beautiful cutting board that your father made. Let me know if he needs any black walnut. I have a bunch that would be perfect for him to use. Thanks for making us feel like family at the grand opening, and that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
We wanted people to come over here, feel comfortable, feel loved, and be able to interact with us if they wanted to. And stuff like that just means so much. So to Keller's Creek Cookers, thank you for coming out. Means a lot. And yeah, just thank you. I mean, thank you for the compliment. That's exactly what we want, and that's exactly why we're in love with doing this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's honestly for your dad to get some recognition too on those cutting boards.
That's what
awesome.
I'm saying.
He works so hard, and like even if for those of you who walked into the shop, that counter that I was at, your dad actually built that, and it's beautiful, and it helped us out.
He's super talented, man. That dude is he's on another level, and the best woodworker in the world, in my opinion. That dude is awesome. But thank you for the kind comment. That one was really nice.
Yeah.
Jordan Harwell says, "Can you go over all the equipment tools you use while at a comp?" That's a loaded question. That's a really loaded question, but we'll try and answer it real quick because we're already about at an hour. First things first. Obviously, you need all your meats. You need some good meats. You need foil. You're going to use a lot of foil. You need foil pans, disposable cutting boards, injector, extra needles just in case you have some issues with your needles. Different size needles depending on what you're doing. Of course, all your injections, your liquids, everything that you're going to be using to prepare your meats, your Gulf Coast smoked seasonings, hopefully, and a slicing knife, a trimming knife, an electric knife if you want to use one. But you do want a regular slicer on backup just in case your battery breaks or something. And then, of course, your smoker, your charcoal, your wood chunks, your wood, whatever.
I think keeping a ruler on hand is very good.
Yeah.
We definitely like to keep a ruler so we know, we use a brisket caddy, which is really helpful because that's like a set width, right? A grease separator.
Grease separator is a good one. Brushes, Basting brushes. Tweezers. We use lots of tweezers to get
scissors.
Scissors. Tweezers to get little specks of huge granules of pepper off or something like that we feel like might not be good to the judge.
I think having a clock is really good too.
A clock is huge. Being able to see the time, look up, okay, hey, we got 10 minutes. All right, we got to hurry. We haven't done anything yet. We got to go. Boom. But yeah, I mean, there's so many things, but I think
that would be a really good video if we did because we've done a video before on what our trailer looked like when we first got it. I think it would be a really cool video to show updated what's in our trailer. What do we take with us to a competition?
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So that's actually a really great question coming from Jordan Harwell, and we can definitely try and make something happen there because the answer is hard to answer because we're not in a competition, and I don't really my mind's not in competition mode. I'm not exactly sure what we're going to be needing right then and there. But yeah, we can definitely do that video here really, really soon. We have a competition coming up in 2 weekends, and maybe we can film it then.
Yeah.
But we'll try and get that going, Jordan. But for now, obviously we gave you some answers there, and hopefully those help you out. If you have anything specific that you need to ask or you want to know about competition barbecue, obviously reach out to me and let me know. But yeah, I mean, I think a good episode today. We talked about the grand opening and how things went for us, which we felt like it was really successful. And again, one more time, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse, but man, thank you guys so much for coming out. If you did, if you didn't, thank you as well for watching the videos, for listening to this podcast, for allowing us to get to the point that we are right now. We have so much more we want to do, and that's never going to slow down. That's just who we are. But thank you guys for allowing our passion and this fire within us to continue to grow and grow and grow. It means the world to me. I know it means a lot to Sabrina as well. And you guys are allowing us to show our kids that hard work can stand for something, and it will, as long as you never give up. That's the thing with Sabrina and I. There's been plenty of times when we wanted to. Well, maybe I wanted to. We haven't done it. As long as we keep going, we are going to reach our goals, and I think that we already somewhat are. But, man, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't listen to anybody that tells you don't start a podcast, don't film videos, don't this, don't that. Do whatever you want to do. And if you have a passion for it, do it. You're probably going to suck in the beginning, just like we did. Go watch our first video right now, and you're going to be like, yeah, you sucked.
Don't watch it. Just take our word for it.
Yeah, it was horrible. You're probably not going to be that good in the beginning.
Yeah.
But you'll get better and better and better, and as long as you keep trying to learn, you're going to get where you want to get. So thank you guys for listening. You got anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, once again, we're very appreciative, and we just feel really blessed. So thank you to everyone who came out and supported. Thanks to the friends and the family that helped us during the event, because, for a second there, we were like, oh, it's just going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 people helping. And no, it really, we needed those extra hands, and we're 100%. Very grateful for it.
100%. Thank you for everybody that came out. Thank you for everybody that shows us the love and support. Thank you guys for listening. If you are watching on YouTube and you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure to do that right now. We're getting closer and closer and closer to 50,000 subscribers, and I think we can do it really soon. And I still am crazy enough to think we can hit 100,000. All it takes is one video. All it takes is a little bit to get that little jump, and I think we can hit 100,000 before the end of the year. If we don't, it's okay. I'm just a big dreamer, right? So, Hey, let's at least get to 50 for sure. Let's at least get to that 50 before the end of the year, which we're inching closer and closer and closer. So thank you guys for continuing to subscribe. If you don't, go ahead and do that right now. Maybe share this channel with a friend that you think might like barbecue. We haven't had a guest in a while. You guys want to see anybody specific, come on to the channel. Let us know in the comments down below. And once again, thank you for listening and watching. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace.